guys, thank you for tuning into my week 4 discussion board where we'll be taking a look at the fiscal solvency of the city of Harupa Valley for the fiscal year that ended on June 30th of 2023. We'll be taking a look at the annual comprehensive financial report. So to start, I analyzed the fiscal solvency of Harupa Valley by utilizing Brown's 10-point test. As a disclaimer, I was unable to find the numbers for the post-employment benefit assets/liability percentage. So I used the other 9 points to determine the fiscal solvency of Harupa Valley, which the results ended up looking like Harupa Valley was fiscally solvent and they are operating at a profit at all levels. First off, analyzing the total revenue per capita, that's determined by taking the total revenues for all governmental funds and we divide that by the population. You'll notice that I do have the definitions at the bottom of each slide just so that you can understand how I've determined the overall percentages or the results or the numbers. So we took 80.83 million, we divided that by Harupa Valley's population of 107,000 people. And that brought in an overall revenue of 755, rounding up. Next, when analyzing the intergovernmental revenues over the total revenues percentage, the intergovernmental revenues brought in 6.86 million. And again, when we divide that by Harupa Valley's population when we divided that by the general fund, which was 63.42 million, that brought in a total of 10.8% of intergovernmental revenues that went towards the total revenues of the city. Next, analyzing the property tax or own source tax revenues over the total revenues percentage. Harupa Valley, when looking at the property taxes of 2023, brought in $47.849 million. When we divided that by the 63.42 million of the general fund, that left us with a total of 75.44% towards total tax revenues that are levied towards the general fund. For the total expenditure per capita, we took the $51 million of total expenditures for the city of Harupa Valley, and we divided that again by the population of 107,000 people. And that brought in $476 expenditure per capita, which if you remember to a couple slides earlier, this number is substantially lower than the overall revenue brought in by the city when we divided that revenue by the population, which shows that the city is operating in profit. Next, analyzing the operating surplus over operating revenues percentage. There was a remaining fund balance of $45.03 million, and when we divided that by the general fund of $63.42 million, that left us with a 71% surplus of operating revenue. And it is important to note that the general fund balance divided by the general fund revenues was the exact same numbers, so it left us again with a 71% for that category. For the enterprise funds, I found this personally humorous that the assets and liabilities, Harupa Valley brought in the exact same number at 168,289, which overall meant that there was a 0% enterprise funds working capital coverage. Next, analyzing the long-term debt over assessed value percentage. So the long-term debt was $11,732,000. And we divided that by the general fund to see that it was 18.4% of the long-term debt is being taken out of the general fund. And for our debt service over operating revenues percentage, it was 10.8 million divided by that general fund of 63,420,000, and that left us with a 17.1% outstanding debt of the general fund. Next, when we're analyzing the differences between the city budget and the city ACFR, it's important to note that the city budget is a forward-thinking document. It forecasts the future expenditures and revenue, and it reflects the city's priorities when moving forward in the next fiscal year. The annual comprehensive financial report reflects on past actions, the exact opposite of what the budget is looking to do. It's prepared according to the GAAP, and it shows the financial historical records for the city. It is fully comprehensive, and it is audited by external parties to make sure that everything is, to the T, reported. The ACFR is very rigid, while the city budget remains very flexible and can be changed through future amendments. Lastly, thank you guys for listening to my presentation. I appreciate you guys taking the time to look into this, and I look forward to reading your comments. I wish you guys the best of luck on your presentations, and I look forward to interacting with each and every one of you. Hope you all have a great day.